Hey guys, very good morning to all of you. I hope I am audible and you guys can also see the screen that says Web Analytics, driving with objectives and configuring reports. Yes, all right. So, a very warm welcome and a very good morning to all. I can see 10 participants have joined and more are attempting to join. So, while more people join in, let's do a quick recap because we couldn't take the session last week, so it has been a long break. And so let me just throw a few words out there so that you can connect what we have done before. In the first half of the session, last session, we spoke about um the key philosophies of analytics, which is which was more of a gyan or a philosophical discussion. But yes, very, very important in tough times because these are the principles that are going to help us navigate through. In the second half of the session, suddenly the number of conversations in the chat window went up maybe 5 times. Great to have questions that you had. So we spoke about keywords every digital marketer must know. Some of these words we were aware, some of these we had confusion. So we spoke about SEO, cookies, we spoke about bounce rate, we spoke about traffic, we spoke about organic traffic versus paid traffic, and what do they really, really mean as opposed to what they seem. So this is where we stopped, right? So in today's session, there are three key takeaways. If we get some more time, we're going to jump to fourth as well. But we'll try and limit it to three. And as always, I remind you, whenever you feel you need a break, because sometimes it becomes a little heavy on your head, do let me know if there is a break at any time, at any point in time you need. But yes, in today's session, I would also request that if there are any Facebook and YouTube that you guys are doing parallelly, to drop that for the first half of the session at least. It's very important because I'm going to ask you guys today to share your screens and volunteer to repeat what I just did. So yeah, so as and when I do activities, I will ask one of you or two of you to volunteer and kind of show the rest of the people how it is done by a beginner. All right. So the first key takeaway today is about integrating Google Analytics with your website. If you already have a website, absolutely fine. If you don't have, we will create one. And if you don't want to create one, don't worry. We have a experiment website or a demo website, which we all can own and feel like it's ours. So there are various options available. You choose which you want. Now, before even we go there, let's look at this four color boxes. There are four boxes, which if we zoom out and if we look at it in collective, this is how the architecture of Google Analytics looks like for a layman. All right. So it's very simple. Okay, before even we go there, so imagine a tape recorder or a CD player. I know that they don't exist anymore these days, but imagine, I'm sure that you've seen them in your lifetime. So there's this box in which you put a cassette or you put a CD, right? But the box, whatever the box is, it's locked box. You don't know what's happening inside it. But something so magical is happening inside it that it converts a hardware into intangible, beautiful music, right? So if you look at that box, it gets some power or electric power for it to run. So that's the input to that box. The output is that you also plug a speaker into that box, isn't it? So one side you're getting electricity, on the other side you're throwing music out. On top of that tape recorder or CD player, you have some buttons on top of it: play, rewind, volume, and multiple things. They are provided outside the box because you can't go inside the box. It's a locked box. There's so many things happening inside. So by pressing the right button, you can tell the box what needs to be done. This is how any analytical tool works as well. Look at this yellow color box, which is which says processing box. So this is like the CPU of your computer, or this is the tape recorder box. Inside this box, magic happens, but it is a locked box. You don't know what's happening inside it. But yes, if you want to become a competitor of Google Analytics or Adobe or Crazy Egg, then you need to know what's happening inside it. If you're an analyst or the user of the tool, then you must know how to press the buttons on top of it. And hence that is called configuration box. Now, this is the processing box, but it needs to eat some data to throw out some reports. So this blue color box that you see is also called as collection pillar. This is that wire or that pillar which will collect data from anything that is digital. Now it can be a website, it can be a mobile application, it can be an Excel sheet, it can be a CSV, it can be an ERP, it can be a CRM, it can be anything that you can imagine, which is digital. Or it can also be a kiosk at the in a mobile this thing in a mall. I'm sure if you've seen this, when you enter a mall, sometimes at the entrance there is a digital board where you see which shop is where. That's also digital. People are giving inputs. Or even if it is a point of sale, maybe in a big bazaar store where you stand and swipe your credit card and they do some billing there. So anything that's digital can collect data and then throw that data into the processing box. So today we are going to spend time in this collection pillar. We're going to collect data and throw it in the processing box. Now, once this data gets into the processing box, its job is to throw out reports that you can actually make business sense out of. And of course, if you need some relevant report you're looking for, then you need to configure or press the right buttons so that the report that you get makes sense. Simple. I think this is what a 10th standard student can also understand. Nothing difficult. So let's start today with the collection pillar. How does any tool collect data from what's happening on your website? Because it's a web analytics class. And collecting data from your website is a simple process. You go to Google Analytics account, you create one if you don't have one, and enter a few details about your website. Then Google Analytics will give you a universal analytics tracking code. Now, if you don't know what HTML or JavaScript is, which I'm assuming most of you would not know, don't worry about it. Just ignore. There is some 4 or 5 line of code which is called website tracking code or universal analytics code. That is what Google Analytics software will give you. All you need to do is close your eyes. Don't get confused with this. Copy it and paste that code in just above the closing header tag of your website code. Now that's one option. The other or the best practices say that you can place this code on every web page of your website. Now that's the best practice. But sometimes when your website has thousands of pages, where in fact, sometimes every new product that you host is a new page. Every new article that you write is a new page. So you can't keep on pasting this HTML code on every web page as you design it. You rather place it in the header only once. Why? Because header appears on all web pages automatically. And that's about it. There is no step 3. Once you save this Google Analytics code on your website, the data collection will begin. So let me show you exactly what I mean by this. Let's directly open a random website. So let's say if I open digitalvidya.com. Okay, I'm opening the site because everyone is aware of this website. And look at the structure of the website. It says, there's a header, and as you scroll down, there is this body of the page where all of this information is available. When you go towards the bottom, there is this footer. Footer says copyright 2009 to 17, about us, contact us, and all of that. Let's say if I go to some other page. So Debu, hang on. I will show you how to do it practically. Font is too small. That's okay. We will zoom in and show you. So right now I'm trying to tell you something else, which is if I go on, let's say, big data Hadoop courses. So I'm just going to some other web page of the same website. Look at the URL now changes, but the header still remains. As I scroll down, the footer also remains, but the body changes. So any website is basically a combination of header, body, and footer. As simple as that. So rather than placing that code which Google Analytics says you should place it on all the web pages of your website, all those at least that you want to track, you can either do that or place it in the header or footer, because these are those elements of the page that appear everywhere. All right. Now, for our demo purposes today, there is this website called marketinomics.com. Now, let me give you a background of this. This is the website that I used to run long back. It was rather a multi-author blog. Many aspiring digital marketers used to collectively author. And yeah, so right now it's almost dead, but it was once, in fact, it was the most one of the most promising digital marketing blogs by Forbes 2010 and 11 rankings. But I think this is a good website. It still gets traffic for all of us to explore. And if you guys do not have a website, you can assume this is yours. I'm going to give you access of this website anyways. All right. So let's begin on how do we integrate this website with Google Analytics. So I've just opened, okay, I'll show you the URL one more time, google.com/analytics. So the problem on the table right now, that here is the software or a tool, and here is the website that you want to track, and rest let me delete. Vishal is saying, sir, I did not get your voice. I hope my audio is clear for everybody else, and for those who are not getting my voice, can call this number. Yeah. So I hope Vishal will figure things out. Uh, yeah. So what the problem on the table is that we need to integrate these two. How do we do that? So we first go to Google Analytics, click on sign in, and click on Analytics. If you are logging in for the very first time, guys, I need your attention here for some time. This is very important. So if you're logging in for the very first time, it will not show you this homepage. It will directly ask you to sign up with your Gmail account and then create a new Google Analytics account. So this will be your first page. Let me directly show you where it will take you. You will land here on a new account creation page. And this is where the journey begins. I will go slowly, will tell you how to create this account and how to integrate. But you guys, when you demonstrate, I'm going to ask you guys to volunteer and show this to the rest of us. You can do this in less than 10 minutes. That's a guarantee. Okay, so you will have to answer a few questions. What would you like to track? Website in this case. What is the account name? Account name basically is the logical name of a business. So it can be test account, or it can actually be Reliance Group of Companies, Procter and Gamble, HUL, or anything. Website name. Which website in your business are you trying to track? So if you're Reliance group of companies, then are you tracking Jio.com or RelianceFresh.com, RelianceDigital.com, or ReliancePetroleum.com, whatever? There are many, verticals, that many websites that they manage. So let's say in this case the website name for our experiment or this demo is this. So I will copy this and I will paste it here as is. In fact, sorry, this will go in the website URL and I will just put the name here. Now I may have a mobile app also, but then we have to click on mobile app and do the same thing. It says default URL is invalid. Why? Because HTTP has already been selected in the drop down. So I will remove that. If you have an HTTPS website, please select that. If you have an HTTP, please select the appropriate option. HTTPS basically means your website is secured and hence the code will differ. Which industry do you belong to? Let's say business and industrial market. You can change this later. Reporting time zone. Okay. So why are they asking reporting time zone? Because they will also give you reports on how many users are coming at what time of the day, and that time matches your time zone. And if you remember, in the previous session, we spoke about a session ends when the midnight clock strikes, and a session ends with 30 minutes of timeout time. So, midnight clock of which time zone? Of the one that you select here. Now, look at the 4 check boxes, which people often ignore, but you should not. It says data sharing settings. This is the real game in the internet days. Data is the new currency, as they say. So the first checkbox, which is auto checked, says that if you check this box, then you are okay to share Google Analytics data with other Google products and services, which basically means you might also be using Google AdWords, Google AdSense, Google for Work, and also using Google Analytics. If you check this box, then you will seamlessly be able to interconnect multiple products that you are using with the same email ID, with the one OTP authentication, and then you can send data from one product to another. Now that's good. Second is benchmarking. Now, this is where the fun is. If you select this box, then you will say you're basically allowing Google to share your data with other Google customers, which can be your competitors or peers in the same industry. Now, how funny is that? Google is asking you to share your data with others. But this data will be shared in anonymous and aggregate format. What it means is that let's say all of us in this batch selected the same industry, business and industrial markets, right? Then all of us will be able to see anonymized aggregated data. That means the average of the industry, but I will not be able to see the data of Kavita, Jihan, Himani, or Debu, or any one of you. But I will be able to see industry average and benchmark myself against that. So for example, my bounce rate is 30%, but the industry bounce rate is 50%, then I know where do I stand in terms of bounce rate. If the average time spent on my site by my users are 2.5 minutes, but the industry average is 1 minute, that means I'm engaging more people. If I'm getting 30% of my user base from social media, but industry average is 50%, that means I have more scope. I can do better on social media because industry is on an average getting 50%. Now, some of the banking or BFSI domain customers who are my clients want to uncheck this box just to be on the safer side, which you can also do. And if you do so, you will not be sharing your data with other Google products, other Google customers. Neither will you be able to benchmark yourself against others. I hope you've understood the importance of this checkbox. And then you are also checking technical support and account specialist basically, which means if you call on their 1-800 number or write an email for any issues or any problems you're facing with the tool, then their people can log in and help you give support. Now, once you have done this, simple form and click on Get Tracking ID, it will take you to a page which will give you Google Analytics tracking code. You can create 100 such accounts. 23 of them I've already created, so I'm not going to create more. But let me show you where it takes you. The next page that appears is this page, tracking code page. And this is the code that you will have to copy and then paste in the header of the website, um, or on the web pages of your site. Now this is where we need to stop right now, and now let's go to the website. The code has been created. Now we have to paste this code on this site. Now, since I am the owner of this website, I have the backend analytics, uh, backend HTML access. Okay, Debu says again, please. Debu, we are going to do this multiple times. Right now, what we have just done is nothing. We've just filled up a form and said submit, and this came. So let me go through the entire process once, and then I'm going to do it quickly one more time, and then one of you will volunteer to do it one more time. So we'll do it 3 times, don't worry. So here, since I am the owner of this website, I can go into the backend HTML code, and let me show you how the site looks from backend. Okay, while this happens, let me ask you, how many of you do not know what a CMS means or a content management system means? Have you heard of this term before, CMS, content management system? Okay, all right, great. I can see many of you don't know, so let me take a step back before I enter into the backend of this website. See, guys, imagine, let's go back in time in early 2000s or 1999. If we were to create a website, what was the procedure? It's a 3-step process. You hire a designer who will design the outlook of the website, the colors and the logos and whatnot. Then you will hire a developer or an engineer who will actually code a website that will look like the design that you have created. And the third is that somebody, when the website is ready, will then push content into it. So after these 3 steps, it will be a beautiful looking coded website which also has content, and it can communicate with the rest of the world. So you need to hire a designer, a coder, and a writer. In 2017, you don't need to do that. There are many CMS organizations, content management system organizations, which allow you to choose from thousands of available designs that are there. And you can change the colors yourself if you want to. The navigation styles also you can change a little. But these are pre-coded designs. So first you look at the design so it's like a catalog of designs. If you like one, you select it. And then you pay a small fee, maybe a $50, a $100, $500, maybe $20 sometimes, to own the code of that website. And then they send you the code. Hey, now you are the owner. You can do anything on top of it if you want to, but we have given you the basic template and design. Now you don't need a designer anymore. You don't need a coder anymore, because these 2 things have been done already. And hence, the third thing, which is content management system, exactly by the name, what it suggests, it does everything else for you, and it allows you to just write content and publish, and your website is live. Because content cannot be outsourced because it's about your company, right? I mean, of course, it can be outsourced, but it cannot be pre-templatized. So this screen that you're seeing right now is a CMS, which is also called WordPress. Then there are more called Blogger, Joomla, GoDaddy, Wix. So all of these websites out there allow you to create your own blogs and websites on a design that they can offer you, the code that they've already templatized. You just have to write your content, and hence they are called content management systems. Understood? And at this moment, we are looking at WordPress. For those of you who understand or who has gone through WordPress before, they will be more comfortable. But those who haven't, on the left hand side, see this, if I can actually click on pages and I can write add new, so I can add a new page on my website. I can put a new blog post on the website, and I can put more videos, more images on the website, and so on and so forth. Prerit says, what is the difference between these four CMS types? They are not CMS types, they are CMS companies. So, for example, uh, Uber and Ola, what is the difference between Uber and Ola? But they both give the rights. So these are the competitors in the industry of CMS. They are not types. They are the names of the companies. What are the main difference in their offerings? See, sometimes, see, if you look at the primary users of the CMS tools are those who come from a non-technical background, because technical people will create their own websites even today. They all try and plug different gaps. So Wix is supposedly the newest in the industry, is trying to solve a gap where if somebody knows no coding, zero coding, and want to have their website or blog up quickly, then it gives you limited options, gives you very fancy options, uh, and you can just, it's a little expensive with very less flexibility. As opposed to WordPress on the other end of the spectrum, it is one of the oldest, almost has 70% of CMS market. So I think if you open any damn website on this planet, it's highly likely that 60% likely that they're made on WordPress. If you look at digitalvidya.com, they're made on WordPress. Um, where flexibility is immense. But to go to that flexibility, you will need a little bit of coding experience, sometimes PHP, Java, and HTML, that will allow you to build on top of what they offer. And of course, the template themes are many. There are millions of themes. With Wix, there are limited 20, 25 themes. So if WordPress is the Android, then Wix is the iOS. Where WordPress is more democratic, if any new theme needs to come on Wix, it will go through hundreds of approvals before it goes there. It is a very limited space. And everybody else is trying to fix some or the other gap. If you want to build an e-commerce website, Joomla provides you wonderful features. And they're very, very specific to e-commerce. Joomla. Joomla. Yeah, Magento. Magento also is for e-commerce. So guys, let's come back to analytics. So these are the content management systems. You may choose whichever you want. Whichever you want. Is GoDaddy user friendly? Yes, it is. I've used it. It's not bad. But if you were to evaluate which one is good, it depends on which kind of websites you open. It's highly likely that WordPress is going to satisfy most of your requirements. That's why it is that um, as a market leader. Um, and also, it's not about the market leader thing, but there are a lot of freelancer support that is available. A lot of organizations working in WordPress, so the support and maintenance becomes easy. So all of those things, please keep in mind if you're choosing one. So let's come back. So on the left hand side, you see here appearance, and then I click on editor. It just shows me my HTML code of the website. For Joomla, it will be somewhere else. For Blogger, it will be somewhere else. And let me look for the header code. Let me do a Control F header. So this is where you do a section header code. I click here, and this is where the code appears. All I need to do now is go to this code which we have created. Since you were not able to see it, Devu, let me zoom in. This is what the PPT slide showed. I will copy this and I will go here in the header code, scroll down and place the code here. So let's say, okay, by the way, I have placed it, but I will not place it because this is the code that is already placed here. So I don't have to place it twice. So once you place, scroll down, click on update file, and that's when your collection pillar will start to work. So I took around 15 minutes to show you the entire um, cycle. But let's test whether this Google Analytics code is actually working or not. Whether we have placed it rightly or not. So I would request all of you now to please click on the URL I am sharing in the chat window. All of you go and click it. So now let's me go on to the site, which is Google Analytics tool. And when I click on this real time tab and click on overview, hey, hang on. See, look at this. 8 of you have already clicked on the site. And I think one of you is coming from mobile device. And people are coming from Kolkata. We have people from Mumbai, Navi Mumbai. We have people from Hyderabad and people from Bangalore visiting the site. Vishal says Noida. Okay. So guys, this is the real-time dashboard. Google Analytics says this is only for, uh, you know, is only to get a sense of what's happening on the site. Google does not promise accuracy on this particular dashboard. It says it needs minimum 24 hours to show you accurate data. But in my experience, it takes not more than 4 hours to show accurate data. Right now, it's showing near real-time data. But Vishal, if you're from Noida, don't worry. If it is not showing you here, does not mean that you're not captured. In 4 hours, your data is going to come and get stored at the right time, at the right place, and everything is going to be shared. So Kavita says this is really good. So Kavita, this is only a trailer. Now see, all of you are on the home page. If you go from the home page on the website that you clicked to some other web pages, click on anywhere else, you will see that people are moving from this page to other pages. Here, top active pages will show you that. Look at this. You have started moving on. Some 4 people have gone on inbound. One of you have clicked on this article called Best B Schools for Marketing in India. And as you go ahead, you will, as a web administrator, I can see what's happening on my site. And right now it's 10. Imagine a Flipkart or an Amazon would have a 3-digit number real time. And you know that on which page what is the number of users, and if you want to drive traffic from one page to another, you know where to show a pop-up or an ad right now, and what kind of ad can be shown, how impactful it can be, and so on and so forth, real time. All right, now this is WordPress is paid, but let's say if you want to do it in free, I can do the same thing on blogger.com. And it's a Google strategy to give everything for free. So Blogger is again a free tool. All I need to do is now click on new blog, add a random title or whatever you may want to write, have a unique name for your blog, and then select the template you want and then click on create blog. The moment you create blog, I will then show you where to place the code. So now it's time, it's your hands-on time, guys. So I want somebody from the batch who will volunteer to share their screen as you do hands-on, and I will be, don't worry, guiding you with my audio. Who is willing to volunteer today? Somebody who has never done it before is the right volunteer. Okay, Rashida says I want to do it. Great, Rashida. So let me give you the presenter rights, and this is where it gets fun. Okay, so I've sent you a small download link. It will take you not more than 10 seconds to start sharing your screen. And while this happens, others I would request to not do it alongside, but look at what Rashida is going to do. Yes, I think all of us can see Rashida's screen now. All right, great. So she is already there. She's already clicked on the sign up button, uh, and this is the home page she got. Very nice. So alongside, because Rashida does not have a website, or Rashida, do you have one? Okay, that's okay. That's fine. So what you should do now, open a new tab on the same browser, open a new tab and write blogger.com. So right now we're just creating a personal blog for Rashida. A blog or a website doesn't make any difference. They are both digital properties. Click on create your blog. Don't worry, we can't see your password, Rashida. Okay, and hang on, that's okay. So great. So is it opening and it is saying continue to Blogger? Just click on continue to Blogger. It will force you to create Google Plus and whatnot. Okay, great. So since you're coming in for the first time, see on this Blogger platform, you can create multiple blogs. But let's start with creating one. Click on create new blog and then give a title. You can say Rashida's blog. All right, and create a unique URL. You can change this later, you can delete this later. So write something that you believe will be unique. Just write, okay, that's okay, it's long, but let's see if it is available. Okay, just write Rashida 12345. Yeah, okay. Is it available? Yes, it is. Now click on simple template. So these are the designs which are available. Click on simple and then click on create blog. Rashida's world created successfully. Very nice. So click on no thanks. And now on the top left corner, do you see view blog? Just right click on it and open it in a new tab. Let's see whether your blog is up and running. Great. Wonderful. So in less than 3 minutes, already you have created a new blog. The content is yet to come, but at least you have a URL. Now let's go to the analytics dashboard and create an account. That's right. So you've already written the account name. Just write Rashida's World in the website name. Don't worry, it's easy. Don't get nervous. Yeah. So go to your tab and copy the URL that you have just opened a new website, right? Yeah. Copy this. Go to analytics, paste it just to avoid any spelling mistakes. Remove the HTTPS, the entire thing. Yes. Select an industry category. Anything is fine. You can write computers and electronics, food and drink. Great. Reporting time zone. Select whichever country you are in right now. Scroll down towards the bottom and click on Get Tracking ID. Agree to terms and conditions. I think you need to drag these box up. Just take your mouse on the title that says Google Analytics Terms of Service. Just take your mouse there, drag it up, say I accept. All right, guys. So let me put a disclaimer. Please read that before writing I accept. And this is where your code has popped up. So I think you have on one side created a blog, on the other side created an account and got a tracking code. Now it's very simple. So copy this code, If you want to read what it says this is a global site tag tracking code for this property. Copy and paste this code as the first item into the head of every web page that you want to track, or as we have understood, we can place it, in the header. So you've copied it. Now go back to Blogger page, the other one where you were creating the blog, the backend. Yes. On the left hand side, do you see many tabs? Click on themes. Do you see, as you scroll down, do you see edit HTML? Scroll down. Do you see edit HTML? Click here. Now this is where the HTML code of your website is. Now you don't need to understand anything in HTML. Don't worry. Don't get confused. I know it's scary to look at codes. Look at line number 4. It says head. Do you see that? And a little below that, as you move your cursor down, you see line number 661 that says backslash head. Now in between head and backslash head is the header of your website. So whatever code comes, right? So what we need to do now is find anywhere in this space, as it said, it should be just below the head or just above the header, backslash head. So let's do one thing. Go to line number 8. Yes. And then just do a control V or paste it here, whatever you have copied there. That's right. And now save the theme. Do you see save theme orange box on the top? That's right. So either you could do this. Okay, there is an error. So you can for now remove this. Just copy the same thing again. Cancel it, cancel it, cancel it. Just copy the same thing again from line number 8 to line number 16. Now cut it from here or do a control X. Go to line number 661. Press a few enters, or line number 660, actually you place it anywhere. Just go up and paste the same thing again. I think we placed it wrongly, but that's okay. Even these errors don't matter much. It just gives you, paste it here, save theme. Did it save? You hide the notification and click on save. Okay, so that's okay. So either you can do it like this, all right, or click on settings on the left hand side. Scroll down in the take this scroll bar down and click on other. Scroll down here. Yes. Scroll down further. Scroll down further. Do you see Google Analytics there? It says Analytics Web Property ID, right? So here, what you need to do is just place the code. So go back to the Analytics tab. Do you see tracking ID there? UA-108112183-1. Copy this and paste it here. You could have done either this or that. So I'm just showing you both. Scroll down and save this, or wherever the save button is. So essentially what we have done is that either you edit the HTML code of the site or you place it here. Go to the Rashida's World blog now and try refreshing it. Right. Now can you do one thing? Right click anywhere on the blog. By the way, you have done a great job. Already collection pillar should start to work. Just click on view page source. Now this is the code that you are seeing from the front end. Do a control F and write analytics. Yeah, look at this. Look at the code. It is already placed here, which means you have done your job properly. Now, what we should do, can you place this? Can you please share your URL in the chat window so that all of us can click on it and see whether people are actually coming there? Yeah, just place it in the chat window. We can all click on it. Great. Yes, it opened on my browser. So now let's go to the analytics tab. On the left hand side, click on real time, that clock icon. Further left, yeah, click on this and click on overview. Scroll down. All right. So right now it shows 0, but that's fine. Google Analytics takes minimum 4 hours or such time for you to start showing this data. But you have successfully done the collection pillar. So I think we should all clap for Rashida. She did this in 10 minutes. And this is how even a beginner can do it in such less time. I hope I hope every one of you have understood how to do this. And thank you so much, Rashida. It was so nice to see you doing this. Looks like you were nervous, but then it was so easy. So I'll take back the presenter rights for now. And this is how you do it. You go to Google Analytics code. So Debu, do you still need a repetition? We can do it. But you fill up the form, get the tracking code, go to the head, place it, and save it. In case you are very scared of placing the HTML code, go to the go to the section where it is asking you only the tracking ID, just place it and then save it. It will do the job like that. And once then will people start coming on your site, whether there is one person, whether there are millions of people, all of that data will now start collecting and will start getting into the processing box after this. Now there are multiple questions that arise. So let me just put forward those FAQs here. See, a website always opens from top to bottom. The header loads first, then the body, and then the footer. So you might say, why am I placing this code in the header? Because it is a third party code. It's a Google's code. So what if something goes wrong with the code? Or even if nothing goes wrong, what if the internet connectivity of the user is very slow? And if I place this code in the header and the website loads from top to bottom, and every code will take some time to execute, does it mean my website page load time will increase because you are adding extra code? And because this new upcoming world is about do more with less code, write minimal sites, don't show thousands of images. It should open quickly. By adding another piece of code, are we not saying that the website load time will increase? The answer to that question is that Google Analytics tracking code is an asynchronous code. Asynchronous code basically means this, that it does not interfere with any other HTML codes of the site. So whether the Google Analytics code itself may take 3-4 minutes to load, though it takes a fraction of a second, let's say it's slow for a certain reason, it will not impact the website page load time. So you place it in the header, and it is one of those good practices to place it in the header. Now you may still be a little doubtful. You say, I will not place it in the header. I will place it in the footer because footer also appears on every web page. So I will not take any risks. Now, what is the risk if you place it in the footer? It's actually a bigger risk because sometimes users are impatient and they do not allow the entire web page to load fully. So they open your website, they look at the header, they look at the body, and sometimes within a few seconds, they decide, hey, this is not the site I wanted to come on, right? And even before the footer could load fully, they exit the website. And in such cases, if you have placed this code in the footer, you will miss analyzing those people who do not let the footer to load. And hence, when Rashida was placing this code, we have asked her to, it'll work best if she places just above the header. Or when you just go to the settings and you just write that tracking ID, it automatically places the code in the header and nowhere else. All right. So this is how the collection pillar works. I'm just now trying to take a step back before we go to the next step. If you want to make your careers in analytics, these are the 4 5 sites you must follow. If you want to follow somebody, then this person, his name is Avinash Kaushik, Indian, but also the founding pillar of Google Analytics. His website is kaushik.net. Very energetic, very nice guy, very detail oriented guy. The other person is Justin Catroni. He's rather an academician. He'll talk about new features and functionalities. His website is catroni.com. Um, rather than looking at the websites, I would recommend YouTube them. Both of them have multiple lectures where they talk about analytics. So whenever you get time, they do talk in detail about how a digital marketer is only a half a marketer if they don't know analytics. And they give you amazing examples. You will find hundreds of videos. Now, now let's, for the next half an hour before we take a break, uh, understand once you have started collecting data and you will automatically start to see reports because right now if I open this um, and if I go to any of the reports, for example, I go to audience, I click on overview, um, some numbers will show up here, 180 sessions, 163 users, and blah 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 blah, many things will open up just by placing that code in the header and nothing else you need to do. You will start seeing reports. But as a good marketer, we should know what we are doing as opposed to just staring at data. And connecting you to the first session where we took the example of a vegetable seller, he knew what the outcome should be, and hence he started doing a reverse analysis on what needs to be done to reach there, right? So the next 20-25 minutes, I want to spend some time in what after you start getting reports. Okay, this is done, what next? So the next thing I want to talk about is digital marketing measurement model. Some of my clients have gone to a level, to an extent, where they say that if we don't refer to our digital marketing measurement model, it's a criminal activity for the marketing department. It adds so much of purpose to what we are doing, um, so much of purpose that without which we feel lost now. So in order to discuss about digital marketing measurement model, we have taken today a demo company or an example company, which is Decathlon. For those who don't know what Decathlon means, it's a sports mall that you see everywhere in India these days, especially tier 1, tier 2 cities. At least I've seen them in Gurgaon, Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, most cities where you guys are coming from, as you showed in the map. You guys in your cities have Decathlon, which is a large size sports mall. And why have I taken this example today? Because it is that site or it is that business which sells online, offline, mobile app versus physical stores and so on and so forth. If not the whole of it, we can connect to some elements of this organization. So let's look at the demo digital marketing measurement plan. It all starts with having a business objective. So let's say that the business objective of this organization is to help people enjoy the outdoors through innovative products and cultivate their love of the outdoors. Now, don't underestimate the power of this statement. It's very powerful, and sometimes those BCGs and McKinseys of the world, those consulting organizations, will charge you $1 million in 6 months to arrive at this statement. So when I do a consulting assignment with my clients, this is my first workshop. All right. Now, once you've understood the business objective and the meaning behind it, you will write down strategies to achieve the objective. So, strategy, as the name itself tells you, is a long term thing, something that you'll keep doing for many years. And when I say many years, it can be anywhere between 7 years to 300 years. That's what companies call it. For example, organizations like Tata, Birla, I mean, they have set their strategies up for 300 years. For the first part of business objective that says help people enjoy the outdoors through innovative products, you are saying you will sell those products. By the way, you're not saying you will manufacture them or evangelize them or make videos of them. You are going to buy and sell. For the second part of the objective, which is cultivate the love of outdoors, you will talk about, especially in this era where desk jobs are taking over and people are not fit anymore, you are going to talk about how amazing it is to go outdoors. And I think all marketers tend to take that larger purposeful role of the thought leadership and they engage with people in general. Eventually, they may become your customers. And after strategies, once you have written those down, we talk about tactics. Now, tactics are something which are kind of negative connotation, something that we sometimes don't understand. We call it tactical and not strategic. But tactical in my conversation today means those high energy, result oriented tasks that you will do today and will observe the outcome in near real time and in near future. So for example, you will sell online and you will drive store visits, you will engage users by blog and so on and so forth. Now in my consulting assignment with my clients, especially when the top management team is sitting in a boardroom and we are doing a detailed exercise. So we often ask on the table, what do you think should be the strategies and tactics of your company? So we write down everything on the whiteboard, whatever they say. And together then we do a collective exercise of striking things off what we have written, which if we don't do, we will die. So in fact, only those remain which are absolutely necessary to hold on to. And everything else which looks secondary, we don't look at them with seriousness in that workshop. So I have seen in my experience, no matter how big or large or how small an organization is, we have seen 3 to 5 strategic moves of an industry vertical and around 15 to 18 tactics that come out. Okay, on this PPT, it's a small PPT, only this much can come, so I'm giving you examples. So imagine all the digital marketing things that we are learning with Digital Vidya. Everything can get settled in these 3 boxes of red color boxes or maroon boxes. If I was talking to HR people, then I would have written those HR tactics. If I was doing a session with supply chain people, I would have written operation tactics. And finance people would write financial tactics, isn't it? So now we're a digital marketing team, everything sits at this layer. Some things are so strategic for an organization and they're pure marketing thing, they go up a level up. Now, after you've written down those 18 to 20 tactics, the real game begins. And that's why you are attending this workshop. And we call them key performance indicators or KPIs. As the name itself tells you, these are performance indicators. We have been living our lives on KPIs without knowing, sometimes knowingly. So let's say when we were children, when we were studying in school, maybe ninth standard, 10th standard, you do a lot of hard work to pass a class. Right? Ask me, I've done a lot of hard work to pass 10th standard. And 365 days of going to school and doing those weekly tests and homeworks and assignments and listening to the teacher and those semester exams and finally vivas and whatnot. It takes a lot to pass a class. What is the key performance indicators for that student who has gone through 10th standard and passed or failed? What are those performance indicators and where do you see them? You see them in the year end report card, right? On the left hand side, you see maybe sometimes it's a big card, it shows the names of the subjects on the left hand side. On the right hand side, it shows your marks. Some of those marks are written in green color, some of them are written in black, some of them are in red. That means you're failing in those. But they tell you your performance, they indicate how good or bad you were. Now, if you let's say you want to go a little deeper, you failed in mathematics. You will then reach out to your teacher, open your answer sheets, and maybe if she is keeping a track, then she will tell you that, hey, you are not only bad in mathematics, you are basically finding it difficult to understand negative numbers. You are good in trigonometry and algebra and everything is fine, but the fundamentals of negative numbers is not clear. So this is my performance indicators, and I get to know where to intervene. Now let's look at something else, some other domain. Uh, let's say I am 100 kgs, or let's say Vishal is 100 kgs and he wants to lose weight. And it's a very, very hard working exercise. You need to be at it, you need to run, you need to eat well, you need to take enough rest, and so on and so forth. And he has been doing this hard work of, let's say he wants to go from 72 to 65. Okay, Vishal, I understand. Now this is a very, very difficult job, and because you do hard work in something, you need to know your performance indicators. So what are his performance indicators? The number of kilometers he is running every day, the number of green teas he is drinking every day, the amount of calories he is taking in every day, or maybe the number it shows on a weighing scale when he stands on it, or maybe his BMI index or his fat percentage in his body when he goes to a doctor. And there are various things that tell whether he is getting closer to his objective or not. As an analyst or an advisor, our job is to create a report card of the marketing team. That's our first job. And looking at what the tactics are and the strategies are, we will talk about those report card elements. So we are still not writing marks against each. We are just writing what the report card should hold. What should be the row names? So if you're selling online, we should absolutely measure the revenue online and average order value and much more. Category wise revenue, product wise revenue, campaign wise revenue, or how many people are clicking on the store locator button and entering their pin code to go to the nearest store, how many people are printing that coupon that they unlocked on the website and going to the store, how many people are returning to the blog because engagement was one of my objectives or tactics, how many people are sharing my content, how many people are commenting on it, how many people are reacting on it. And KPIs are always large in number. Okay, if you talk about PIs or performance indicators, they go beyond 100, but KPIs go beyond 30 to 50. I mean, that's the range for any business vertical. Now, at this point, when you read this, you will start to feel the need of putting numbers against them, because now you've created a report card. You want to put a number and then go to the marketing team. Hey, because I'm coming from analytics team, some of these things are not working well. Please fix them. Now look at the wall in front of you. I'm sure wherever you are sitting, there's a wall around you, unless you're sitting in a park. So look at the wall and imagine a slide projection, PPT you've projected on the wall with 50 of these boxes of KPIs. Each of them have a color of red, amber, and green. And let's say your target of, let's say, this one of the box that says revenue was 1 lakh rupees a week in any rolling week. On any given day, past 7 days, your revenue should be 1 lakh rupees from the website itself. If you pass that figure on any given day, the box will turn green. If you are between 70,000 to 1 lakh rupees, it will be amber or yellow. If it is below 70,000, it will remain red in color. Now imagine that large screen with multiple boxes changing their colors with time. And you know which ones to fix first. Your attention will first go to the red ones to fix them. If all the red ones are fixed, then you'll go to the amber ones. And once the dashboard becomes green, all of it becomes green. That means you're doing a great job in assisting the marketing team. Connecting this thought to the Walden Matthews statement in session one, there is no analysis without objectives. Now look at how beautifully business objectives have trickled down to KPIs as you break it down slowly. And you will intervene at a level where you know things are not working and hence will achieve your business objectives quicker, faster, and without wasting time. So this is what our first objective will be. Now let's take a step further and let's talk about segments. And by the way, guys, this measurement plan is one of the biggest deals out there. If you understand this well, you are a great marketer. Now look at the segments. Now segments, basically, I'm sure people have heard of this term called segmentation, targeting, positioning, right? Or which segment basically is helping me achieve my key performance indicators. So for example, in the campaign which I would have run lately, I thought that those young people in tier 1 cities between the 18 to 25 years of old, especially males, would come to the store on weekends and buy all those products because this is the audience which wants to get fit. Let's say that was your hypothesis. And you go do your campaign across the city. You go to all those cities where you will find these young people and so on and so forth. And let's say your business becomes a hit. All of those KPI boxes are green in color. But then you need to go a little deeper and understand who is helping you achieve those KPIs. So it may just turn out that it's not the segment that you thought will buy. It is basically women in tier 2 cities who are 35 plus are buying all of those products in your shop, which you thought the young people and males in cities will buy. And hence you need to know what is the segment of your buyers. Now this looks like a demographic segmentation, but segmentation can be of anything, can be from marketing channel. For example, people from social media are buying, but people from email are not buying. Or people who return are buying, but people who are first timers don't buy. People from Pune are buying, but people from Bangalore are not buying. Or people from Delhi are buying, but people from New York are not buying. So just zoom out a little and look at the entire screen at once. Now, do you understand the importance of setting business objectives? Strategic is still at business level. When you come down to tactics where you need amazing understanding of digital marketing execution, so this is where you should know how to do Facebook ads, how to do YouTube ads, how to attract people on Twitter, and all of those things at the tactical level, because that will keep changing every quarter. Your campaigns may change every quarter. And the analytics sit beneath this to understand whatever digital marketing execution you're doing, whether are you measuring it, whether you're doing it right, or you need to pump in more money or energy or people. And then analytics helps you who is actually helping you make money. What segment? So now I will stop here. I will not go any further, but I will now ask you to take up an exercise. And by the way, every time I finish a concept, I will ask you to spend some time in doing some exercise now. And hence in the photograph, you see somebody is now holding a pen. So please get a pen out and a notebook out. Or if you don't have one, open an Excel sheet or a Word file. Open any random website, which can be your employer's website, or maybe your dream company you always wanted to open, or your restaurant that you want to open when you retire, or your school which you want to open for underprivileged students, or anything in life that you want to do or you are currently doing, doesn't matter. Spend 15 minutes going from the objective to strategy to tactics to KPIs to segments. Okay, segments is not very important at this moment because that emerges from our execution. But if you look at KPIs and tactics and strategy will come from business objectives. Spend 15 minutes. I know 15 minutes is too little time, but those 15 minutes you will have the habit or you'll at least develop an approach. And I must tell you, okay, my final statement after that, I will shut up. Uh, People who do this assignment understand the value of analytics in digital marketing 1,000 times more than those who just listen to it and move on. So I can't uh, emphasize more on doing this. Let's say you spend 15 minutes on it, it will be around 11:30. Okay, so then you take a continuous break also. Let's meet at 11:45. So you get a 15-minute break and you also get 15-minute exercise time. So this time I'm actually squeezing your break to a little less time. I hope that's fine. If you need more time for break after 11:30, let me know. But is everyone okay with 11:45? And has everyone understood the deeper meaning of doing this assignment? Any questions, any comments, any reaction are now welcome. Okay, all right. So let's take assignment time and break time together and meet at 11:45 sharp. I will pick up random people today. Um, It'll be better if you start using Excel sheet or Word and start typing it so that you can share your screen. And at 11:45, I'll pick up one or two of you who will then unmute themselves. Or if you're not unmuting, you can share your screen and I will read it out on what you believe your digital marketing measurement model should look like. You can also Google this term, digital marketing measurement model, in the meanwhile, or this is also known as Avinash Kaushik model. Google that as well. Anything is fine because it was coined by this person. See you at 11:45 with assignments. I'll pick up random one of you who will do share this assignment. Okay, Joel is saying, can you explain the assignment again? Joel, we are saying pick up a business you like, or business you want to run, or business you want to start in future. You have to write its business objective, strategies of achieving it, tactics, key performance indicators and segments, as explained on an example organization already in last half an hour. You have to write all of this down. All right. So see you at 11:45, and yep. Bye bye.